Welcome to S24 Rundown. I'm Zainab Ibrahim, and here's our news in brief. Apologies for the technical issues. Now the news in details. To start with, children from the Child Rights Advocacy Club in Mashi local government area of Katsina State have called on authorities to urgently address the growing impact of climate change and environmental degradation on schools, one that the situation threatens their safety, health and education. The children made the appeal during a visit to local leaders, highlighting how flood, poor waste management and deforestation have made learning environments unsafe and unconducive. They demanded access to clean water, improved sanitation facilities, proper drainage system and stronger environmental protection measures, including tree planting. In another news, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has announced the release of over 1.8 million results from the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted nationwide. In a statement issued by its spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, the board disclosed that 1,264,940 results from candidates who sat for the exam on April 17th and 18th have been processed and released. This follows an earlier release of 632,752,000 results for candidates who wrote the examination on April 16, bringing the total number of results released so far to 1,897,692. The board advised candidates to check the results via its official SMS channels by sending UTMA result to 55019 or 66019 using the phone number used during registration. JAM noted that the released results cover the first 3 days of the ongoing nationwide examination, which is expected to involve over 2 million candidates. Also, Nigeria and Turkey have agreed to establish a major military training facility in the country as part of efforts to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture and deepen defense cooperation between both nations. The agreement was reached during bilateral talks between Nigerian Minister of Defense Christopher Musa and his counterpart at the Antalya Diplomacy Forum 2026, with officials stating that the facility will serve as a long-term center for capacity development. According to the Ministry of Defense, a temporary site will be set up to begin operation, while a permanent coastal location has already been identified. Under the partnership, Nigeria Armed Forces personnel will receive specialized training in areas such as special forces operation, counter-terrorism, intelligence integration, counter-drone and counter-IED operation, as well as United Nations pre-deployment exercises. In another story, the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria University have rejected the federal government proposed 30% pay rise for non-academic staff, insisting the negotiations are still ongoing and no final agreement has been reached. The union's National Executive Council stated a report suggesting approval of the increments were misleading, stressing that discussions remain inconclusive and must follow due process. SANU warned that it would not accept any outcome below the agreed negotiation terms and issued an ultimatum for talks to be concluded by the end of April 2026. The union threatened to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike alongside other non-academic unions if the government fails to finalize and sign the agreements within a stipulated timeframe. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has alleged that there is a deliberate plot to frustrate his release from detention despite meeting the bail conditions granted by the court. He claimed that certain individuals and institutions were working behind the scenes to delay his freedom by introducing fresh obstacles and prolonging legal processes. The allegation comes amidst his ongoing legal battle with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission following corruption charges filed against him. Although a federal high court had granted him bail with strict conditions, he has remained in custody pending the fulfillment and verification of those requirements. El-Rufai's camp further expressed concern over what is described as an attempt to tarnish his image and keep him detained unnecessarily, insisting that all legal procedure should be handled transparently and without interference. Finally, on the international news, Al-Iranian national Shamim Mafi has been arrested in the United States over allegation of trafficking weapons, including drones and bombs, to Sudan amidst the country's ongoing conflict. According to U.S. federal prosecutors, the 44-year-old was apprehended at Los Angeles International Airport and charged with brokering the sale of Iranian-made military equipment, including drones, bomb fuses, and millions of rounds of ammunition to Sudan. Authorities say the deals, reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars, were facilitated through a network of international channels aimed at evading sanctions, with investigators linking the transaction to entities connected to Iran. Now, moving on to business news with Hadiza Galadima. Let's hold on for Hadiza.
Business segment of the S24 Rundown. I'm Shukra Oniye. This Monday, we are tracking significant movements in the energy sector and new financial intervention from the central bank. The fluctuating price of crude to local effort to stabilize the naira. We have the numbers and stories that will define your work week. Let's dive into the headlines. We start with the energy sector, where Nigeria continues to grapple with meeting its OPEC production quota. Reports as of this morning show the inability to hit 1.5 million barrels per day target has resulted in a significant fiscal gap estimated at over 1.7 trillion naira over the last year. Despite improved fiscal incentive for deepwater exploration, the short-term pressure on the national budget remains high as the government looks for ways to curb oil theft and aging infrastructure. In the financial market, the Central Bank of Nigeria is set to auction treasury bills totaling 750 billion naira today. This move is part of the Apex Bank ongoing strategy to manage system liquidity and rein in inflation, which was recently pegged at over 15% for March. Investors are closely watching the spot rate, especially after recent downward adjustment and then 182-day and 364-day bills at the CBOR investment returns against the fight against rising prices. Closer to home, the Arewa Consultative Forum and its subsidiaries are intensifying a call for a Northern Nigerian Business Development Summit. Leaders within the group are proposing new value-added projects to address the economic impact of insecurity on agriculture in the north. With farming supply chains under pressure, this summit aims to find private sector-led solutions to revitalize rural economies across the Arewa region and protect the food basket of the nation. On the international stage, the global energy markets are on edge this morning. Brent crude futures jumped over 5% today, crossing the $95 per barrel mark. This sharp rebound follows renewed geopolitical tension in the Middle East and reports of disruption in the Strait of Hormuz. For an oil-dependent economy like ours, this global volatility presents a double-edged sword: higher potential revenue for the Federation, but increased pressure on the cost of import refined petroleum products. That is the rundown of the business world this afternoon. As the markets open, we'll keep a close eye on these numbers to see how they impact your pockets and projects. Stay with us here on S24, where when we return from this short break, we'll be diving into the front pages of the morning paper with our newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Much Shukra Oniye. Of course, it is Shukra Oniye and not Hadiza Galadima. Now to our next segment, newspaper review, and I'm here with Abakar Turaki. Hello, Abakar.
Hello, Zainab.
You're welcome to studio today.
Thank you, Zainab.
So moving on quickly to our business of the day, we'll start with the Punch front page, and it says, APC may scrap consensus plans on Flashpoint State. APC seems to be having a lot of disagreement these days. What would you say about that, Abakar?
Zainab, I definitely knew that this day is coming. And
why do you think so?
Because of the internal party conflict that is currently going on in the ruling party.
But we all agree that other political parties have this factionalism and conflict within them.
Of course, internal party conflict is totally inevitable. So it's just for the APC to have the way they can manage their own internal party conflict. And concern has been raised among the card-carrying members of the ruling party that there are some states which consensus is not going to be possible in that state. Because the state that were mentioned, I think Adamawa, Yobe, and Kwara. You know, there is consensus and there is indirect party primaries before a candidate emerge. And most of the states that I mentioned to you, they are going to have a new set of leadership in the state. The governors are in their final lap. So state like Gombe, their consensus may likely work because I have seen the incumbent governor of Gombe State have called on the governorship aspirant that they should work on consensus in the sense that they are going to unanimously pinpoint one candidate.
But, you know, internal conflict or no internal conflict, I think I agree. I'm very much more comfortable with having primary elections rather than just consensus. I feel like when you're making use of consensus, some powerful member of the party are the ones just coming to decide who will be their leader.
To me, I think consensus is just a way, is just a new way of, should I call it election rigging?
A new way of trying to shut some particular people up and say, okay,
but if you allow
this person.
the card-carrying members of that party to pinpoint or to elect the person that is going to represent them in the secondary election, I think it's more democratic.
Yes.
Everybody will feel among.
Because I feel like some people who think they would eventually be cheated are the ones that are calling for primary election.
Of course, that is what they wanted, to make the entire process more transparent, more accountable, and more honest to Nigerian.
And truly, for a party that are going for primary election, they are more transparent.
They are more transparent.
They are much more stronger candidates for Nigeria.
Of course. You know, one disadvantage of this consensus, to me as a Nigerian, after the consensus, is going to destabilize the party. Because everybody has his own preferable candidate.
Exactly.
And if my candidate is not handpicked by the governor, I think definitely there's going to be a kind of like a mass exodus from that party. People may decide to decamp to another political party. And there's going to be a kind of a set of rebellion. People will... Another faction is going to...
I think, yes, there might be faction.
There may be faction.
But leaving the party, I feel like our politicians they don't leave the party because they see untrust in the party. They leave the party because they feel like, okay, this party can no longer cover my interest. Exactly.
We have seen a situation whereby a public figure in this country have cross-carpeted from virtually 5 political parties.
It's no longer in news, actually. Our politicians are not ashamed to jump from one
among
party to another.
some, I even see it online. Some people are even calling him the Grand Commander of the Campi. Recently, yesterday, we saw the former governor of Kano State decamp to the ruling party.
Yes. I'm not surprised.
And this defection is...
But you know, this headline is saying APC may scrap. It's me, so it's not certain.
I have mentioned the affected
states. It's not certain that they're actually even going to follow this procedure.
If I may
I feel
advise...
like the probability of them using this primary election is very thin.
They have to, because, you know, I always tell you, Nigeria's politicians are smart. Because if a politician wants to lure you in order for you to vote for him, he can do everything for you. We have seen situations during the campaign period, a politician will mingle with his people in his constituents. He will eat the same food they are eating. He will drink from the same tap they are drinking, just for him to have their own votes. During campaign process.
And we're happy to arrange blogs.
Of course, and one of our...
you know, that's boho kind of that you press and...
one of our...
and back your baby at the back. Yeah. It's so funny what politicians...
It's so funny, but there will be a time when Nigerians will open their eyes.
I think the time is already coming.
Of course, we are praying for that.
Especially in the northern states. I can see so many rejection of spaghetti and rice from
It does not matter, Zainab. Does not matter. We just need more political orientation.
So do you think those are just social media?
Well, you know, social media fabrication.
But I think
someone
it's a good
within the
step
comfort
for
of
us,
his zone.
if you ask me.
We all believe that things are not going in the right direction in this country. But Zainab, as I'm speaking to you now, if 2027 election come, I really don't know what is wrong with Nigerians. People will still go ahead and collect the little token and vote for the wrong candidate. We are not praying for that.
I think people are smarter.
And then let me tell you something what happened. Recently, I have a conversation.
We have so many incidents that should have made us smarter.
Zainab, many people are saying that Nigeria is than Nigeria.
Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see.
The more you know, the less you understand.
You really can't understand what is wrong with.
No, Nigeria is just a country that we just, building a country like Nigeria. I wanted to use that word, but that word is too big. Like building a country like Nigeria, it requires collective and rigorous sacrifice. Because what Sardauna led, what Azik, what Awolowo led, and Tafawa Balewa led to the foundation of Nigeria. If they are coming back right now, I think they would rather let them go back and sleep than experiencing what is going on in this country right now.
I think they're not turning in their graves and regret.
And I'm telling you something about Nigerian politicians. Nigerian politicians love patronizing public office, but they detest patronizing public structure. What I mean here is,
yes, I get
as a citizen,
but that's where the money is.
As a citizen, I will go to Kurmi Market and do my shopping. They will run to Dubai and do their shopping.
Yes.
Look at the scenario. In a situation whereby our public office holders are busy, allegedly, are busy enriching themselves at the detriment of few individuals, how do you expect synergy, patriotism, development among the people?
This is not at the detriment of few individuals. This is at the detriment of
the
all
country.
Citizens. This is because if you think you are a middle class, you don't know.
There is no middle class in this country. It's either you are rich or poor. I'm borrowing from Karl Marx, what Karl Marx said.
You're either rich or poor.
You are either rich or poor.
It has gotten to this stage. Well, let's see how the procedure APC will be going forward. I feel like this consensus plans, that is what is going to be their procedure. They already have their plans for the future, so I don't think they will be going for a primary election for anybody. These people don't really actually care about what people think. Let's just move on to the next headline. And this is on the Daily Trust newspaper. 2025, Army gets 7% disbursement for security equipment. You know, it is actually very unbelievable. Okay, not unbelievable because it's actually happening in Nigeria. But it's very sad that so many departments in Nigeria are not having enough. They have to go for strike. They have to keep talking. Health sector, education sector. But these are the people that are trying to save our lives. I don't think this should come down to the military personnel. But the country is busy enriching the judiciaries. But some people that are much more important to the society, because what I learned is that the budget actually was 20.56 billion, but just 1.46 billion was given to them as of December 2025. This is actually very embarrassing for our military personnel. It is hard to even call them out. They're just killing them. It's because the ammunitions of these people are not even up to the people who are targeting us. So how do they survive? Where do we go from here? If our security, if our military personnel, our gigantic military personnel are being put to the ground, do you think we are safe in Nigeria?
Then you made mention something that reminds me of what Walter Rodney wrote in his book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And strike is the only language that most of the African leaders understand.
But did the military personnel go for strike?
And security is paramount.
It's one of the important...
I always tell you.
Their budget shouldn't be jeopardized. Really, seriously, I don't know what we're doing in this country. It's actually very embarrassing.
I think if a country like Nigeria will at least allocate 98% of its annual budget to the security, I think most Nigerians will say, Alhamdulillah, we are okay, as long as we are going to have peace.
This is not even about budgeting. It's about making promises and keeping promises.
Well, politicians, most of them, you know how their own promises are. A politician can promise you heaven and he will unleash hell. So this issue is becoming quite alarming. And in a country whereby a 20.56 billion naira was budgeted for Nigerian army, and at the tail end, it was only 7% of the budget was disbursed to them. That is the reason why we are having incessant attack, incessant kidnapping, adoption, armed robbery, and the rest. Because in a country whereby such amount of money was budgeted, was allocated to the security personnel in order for them to make the country stable. And as of December, it was only 7% of the budget that was allocated. How do you expect them to continue carrying out their day-to-day activities?
They're not even safe.
How do you expect them?
Their right mind before they are even out there to save anybody.
Of course, how do you expect them to buy the arms and ammunition that they will fight the insurgency that is going on in this country? That is why I saw a report by Beacon Security, a security consultant here in Abuja. He said that as of then, from January to October, 9,514 people were killed in Nigeria. And of course, 1,117 people were kidnapped in this country. Look at the level of insecurity that is ravaging this country. Because some people are even saying that the security situation in this country is like a wild bushfire. You know, once it starts, quenching that fire is only God that can help Nigerians to do that. So basically, in essence...
It doesn't look like the country is even ready to quench any fire.
No.
Because for our security personnel to be this...
underfunded.
Yes. It doesn't look like Nigeria is actually intentional about quenching any fire.
Yeah, you know, sometimes, Zainab...
Because this also brings me back to the large budget they have for their political lawsuit.
They know where they are budgeting their money, especially when it comes to campaign, appointments, their extra costs, their foreign trips.
Those are the kind of budget
Those are the kind of lucrative budgets.
Yes.
But when it comes to protection of you and Nigerians.
They just make budgets on paper.
Of course, recently I saw a headline that caught my attention. You know, recently there has been series of massacre. General was killed, Colonel was killed, and recently one of them, I think one of them got the son and daughters of one of them recently got married. 10 governors were there in attendance, and they were unable to attend the funeral of gallant military people that actually gave their life in order to protect them, the country. And at this juncture, I want to call on the family of the gallant heroes that they should put their mind at rest. Because whosoever died while serving his country, he died as a martyr.
This is not about dying
but
as
we
a martyr.
pray,
I don't think
as I always speak to you from the positive angle.
Do you know the state of the family now?
Well, Zainab, I believe the federal government may do something for them, even if it is not going to be sustainable.
For the continuity of their family? Does it put food on their table?
Of course, the federal government have something for them. And I believe the Nigerian government is trying, but at least let them do more.
If the federal government are not showing the importance of these military men, how do those terrorists, how do they even respect the military? I do not think they have any regards for our military men.
That most of those bandits, the weapon that they are using, they are more sophisticated than Nigerian
army our military are
using.
And it's not looking like they just give them, they intentionally just give them those toys because I don't want to say what
the security situation in this country, Zainab, we have to go back to our previous conversation. We have to raise up our hand and pray to God to protect us, because even the security agencies are unprotected, Zainab. You and I definitely know that there are certain exits in this country we can't go without escort.
But for a developing country like Nigeria, I think this is not where we're supposed to be.
Of course, I believe Nigeria as a developing country, we will be there if we have the right leadership. I gave you an instance, I gave you an example among the countries that were battling, and now they are among the developing countries in the world.
About getting there.
That is why I say when we have the right leadership,
this kind of leaders, that their priorities are actually different from the priorities of the citizens.
Then we will be there. Even if I'm not alive, maybe our grandchildren will definitely...
I will hold your response for that. So finally, still on the Daily Trust newspaper, UTME, our abductors force us to drink water, dirty water. I think this statement is coming from those JAM candidates that were abducted in Benue State. Still talking about security. So how do parents feel safe? It's that when you talk about security affecting so many aspects of the country, education, feeding, transportation, healthcare. Now this is education. Girls are scared to go to school. People are scared to go to school. People are scared to travel to another state for their JAM exams. So how do we tackle situations like this? Because even if those children were later, it's a trauma for them to go back somewhere and write this JAM exam. This will never go out of their head. Some of these children have never left home before, and the first time they are leaving home, this is the drastic experience. They cannot get adequate protection from the people they call their leader.
Zainab, I think we have to start by saying glory be to God, Alhamdulillah, for the release of 14 people that were in captive
yes, we're thankful to God, but how do we tackle these kind of issues in the future?
Zainab, we have to look inward. We have to look inward as I speak to you from the positive angle. Electing credible leaders that will remember that there is life after death, that will remember there will be a day of accountability, that there will be remember, because God Almighty Allah said, the Prophet ﷺ said that kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati. For indeed, you guys, the temporary leadership that we have given to you, we are going to ask you, how did you bestow that leadership?
I think we've talked about this before, but my reply to you was that people who have participated in the electoral process in the past must have thought they were choosing the right person.
Then no matter how you are going to choose the right person, you have to wait for the period of 4 years.
So does that make you certain that this is the person for us?
That is the reason why we have to be more politically oriented, more politically inclined. Organize a town hall meeting, political discussion, bring your candidate, let him come and give you the blueprint of what he's going to do if he gets into power.
But we've just talked about leaders making promises and not fulfilling promises.
If you are smart enough to distinguish between white and black, and you are smart enough to distinguish...
We are smart enough to understand that these are lies, they will never be achieved.
Of course. In a situation whereby you come to me, you come to a political campaign podium, promise to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, while you push more into poverty without giving me any blueprint. I think the difference between human being and animal is the rationality, the brain. You can differentiate between white, black, green, and yellow. Bring them to order. Come out. What is your party manifesto? What do you intend to do? I am here, if I'm appointed, I'm going to bring an end to the issue of insecurity. How? By recruiting more personnel, by doing the needful, by ensuring free, fair, and equitable distribution of the national cake, the resources. These are the kind of discussion we need Nigerians to be engaging politicians to be listening. But always, Zainab,
don't worry, a 2027 election is just a stone throw, and we'll be coming here with you that can identify between black and white. You'll be helping us analyze the manifestos of these politicians to tell us if this is something that can be achieved or not, to differentiate the politicians that are lying from the ones that are saying the truth. Because people are already losing hope. And this
people are not losing hope, Zainab.
People are losing hope. This is why we're talking about political apathy, because they must have gone through a lot.
Zainab, if you are talking of one third of the populace, if you are saying that they are losing political apathy, we are not doing justice to Nigerians. I so much believe that Nigerians will come out and vote in 2027, and they are going to make the right choice of the candidate. Because Zainab, definitely you are a Nigerian, and you know what Nigerians are going on. How much Nigerians are they buying bag of rice before, and how much are they buying it now?
I understand.
The level of insecurity that was there before, and the level of insecurity that is currently taking place in this country, these are the parameters that Nigerians have to look at it. Nigerians have to look at it. What is exactly going on?
We'll be coming to vote, and we will be looking at the parameters, and you'll be here to tell us white from black. Since you understand, because
I don't promise you that, Zainab.
No, this is a promise. We'll be coming here to analyze the manifestos of the politicians, and you'll be differentiating black for white for us. So this is how we round up our newspaper review. Please hold on for S24 reports coming to you after the break.
streets of Abuja, where Nigerians navigate the rising cost of living and economic situation. We are speaking to residents on how this affects their daily lives.
The biggest concern for me, insecurity and high cost of fuel. That for me is the biggest concern right now.
So, sir, do you feel your voice as a citizen is being heard in our country?
My voice? It's not. No matter how we talk, our voice is being heard. I don't think so. So that's for me. That's my own.
Even if you earn a lot of money, don't remove the cost of transport and food for a day. You are right because there is nothing to do.
The fact the economic situation of the country is so harsh now, especially when there is a rise in fuel, and it's anything that affects fuel affects most things in the country. All these commodities, foods, most things mentioned. Immediately you will say that you tell the fuel is increased, this one increases soon, this one increases soon. That's how it affects everything. Because when before if you want to enter bike, motor, maybe 200 naira before, now it's times 2, 400 naira, some 500 naira. Talk of somebody that is going to beggar. Like now before it's 500, now it's 1,000 or 1,000. So it's affecting everything.
As you can see me, I'm trekking now, and I'm going to New Yanya. The transport now, everything is increased. Before I'm paying 600, now it's 1,000 to New Yanya. See, that's the problem we are facing.
The one and only problem Nigerians are facing is insecurity. Nobody is safe anywhere in Nigeria. And that is the greatest challenge everybody is facing. Even in your own house, you are living in fear. Because in spite of your gate locked, your fence as high as it is, when night comes, it only takes the grace of God to sleep and wake up the next day. So that is the greatest challenge. I don't see any other thing beyond security, protection of lives and property. When we have that in Nigeria, everybody will be free and can move around and do whatever you like to do, genuinely for a living.
While opinions differ, the current living and economic situation continue to have significant impact on daily lives of Nigerians. I'm Gladys Asuko reporting for S24.
Please, I want you to tell our listeners and viewers two implications of vote buying. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime, Aristotle. As Nigerians move closer to 2027 general elections, concern over rising influence of money politics and vote buying are becoming pronounced. Vote buying and financial investment are increasingly shaping electoral outcome in Nigeria, raising question about credibility of the democratic process and the true will of the people. Today on Political Arena, we examine why vote buying persists and explore the practical solution to curb this trend of vote buying in Nigerian politics. I am joined by my guest, Sadiq Oladimeji. Sadiq, welcome to Political Arena.
Thank you so much.
So, Sadiq, as a public analyst, what are the primary drivers behind vote buying in Nigerian politics?
Firstly, I'm going to say the primary drivers of vote buying are the contestants of elections. And you could see that the money each contestant can spend now on campaign has now been increased in the recent electoral bill that was signed this year to 10 billion for the presidency and I think 5 billion for governorship seats, which to me it's so extravagant and lavishness, because why are you spending that much to get into office if you are not going to go into vote buying? And with the current situation of the country, you could see that there is nobody that will be offered money and he or she is not going to, submit to what he or she is asked to do in return of getting money. So I will still say the politicians who are contesting are the main drivers of vote buying.
Okay. Practically, you mean it is our lack of political orientation and socialization that trigger or push forward toward vote buying in Nigerian politics?
No, what I mean is the current situation of the country, the economy, the poverty rates. So you could see that it's at the high level. Everybody does anything just to get money. So I just want Nigerians to understand that if you don't have money and someone is offering you like 100,000 or 50,000 to cast your vote, definitely most of Nigerians are going to fall to it and do that and succumb to their offer. So it's the economic downfall that is causing vote buying in Nigeria, because most of the individuals who go outside to vote don't even have food in their house.
But some political analysts are attributing vote buying to the issue of poverty, illiteracy, and lack of political socialization.
Yes.
What can you say about that?
Yes, I think INEC also has a part to play. The sensitization is not enough, because I think most Nigerians just want to get the money. They don't know the implication of actually selling their votes. Because most individuals, they have the intention of getting or voting in somebody, but if the person is not bringing money and his opponent is bringing money, they are ready to succumb to that.
Okay. You made mention of INEC have a role to play. So you mean practically, can voter education and awareness eradicate the issue of vote buying ahead of 2027 election?
That alone cannot eradicate it.
Why?
We need the presence of the ICPC, the EFCC to be on ground at each polling unit. These guys, not on uniform. They should queue also on the line as if they want to vote. They will see how those persons will approach people on queue from behind, talk to them. You'll see some set of individuals gathered at a particular corner or circle. Immediately they vote, they go to that place and collect their money or whatsoever that has been promised. So if the EFCC, ICPC could be on ground, these guys, with the INEC intervention of the earlier sensitization, I think it can curb the 2027 vote buying, because I just want them to pick up or arrest whosoever they meet involved in buying votes, irrespective of any political party the person represents.
But it may be very difficult from the electorate, because it has come to our notice that a lot of politicking is going on, especially within Nigeria. That some people are even saying that if you don't give us money, we're not going to vote for you. And some people are even voting on the basis of little token, because it has come to our notice that even in the previous election, the sum of 1,000 naira was given to some Nigerians and they voted for that person. So that simply means, does poverty still have a vital role to play when it comes to vote buying in Nigerian politics?
Yeah, it does. It actually has most of the highest role to play when it comes to vote buying in politics, because the poverty rate is high. People are struggling to survive. People are struggling to live.
Okay, so what are your call or what are your odds to government in curbing the issue of vote buying ahead of 2027 election, and your call to the younger Nigerians?
People who have influences, the influencers we have in Nigeria today, should also sensitize the general public about the implication of vote buying and why they shouldn't partake in it. INEC on its own should also talk to Nigerians to deviate from selling their votes to politicians. Then I think, lastly, the EFCC, the ICPC, and any other force that could join hand, maybe the civil defense, should be on ground at each polling unit to observe and pick out those who are selling or who are buying the votes of the public.
Okay, Sadiq, as a public analyst, please, I want you to tell our listeners and viewers two implications of vote buying so that they can avoid it.
I think the first implication of vote buying is you might end up selling your votes for the wrong person, which will lead to wrong governance And from wrong governance, there are a lot of implications, you know, backwardness in the economy, not being able to survive after the period of the election, or you've sold your votes, that's all, you won't be remembered. So those are the things Nigeria should consider. And we've been clamoring this thing for so long that you don't need to sell your votes. If you have a preferred candidate, believe in your candidate, cast your votes, wait for the announcements. That's all. You don't need to involve yourself in vote buying, vote selling as Nigerians.
Many Nigerians seems to be losing hope ahead of the 2027 election and the electoral empire in Nigeria. And many people make it clear that they are not going to vote, because if you approach people and even ask them, they will even tell that they don't even have a voter's card. So what are your call to young Nigerians out there who seems to lose hope ahead of the general elections? What are your call to them?
My call to them is they should remember that who give up, na him fuck up. If you say you are tired, you don't want to cast your vote, or maybe your vote does not count. If your vote does not count, why do politicians buy them? Your vote actually do count. So this is a call for all Nigerian youths and Nigerians at large to go and get their PVC ready. Get your PVC ready. Ensure you cast your votes with due diligence and not bringing any sentiment to it. And ensure that it's being counted before you leave your polling unit.
So in a nutshell, you're calling on young Nigerians and Nigerians at large to believe in the system.
Yes.
Have more trust, believe in the system,
Yes.
and let them cast their vote ahead of 2027.
Yes.
Okay, Sadiq, that is all what we have. Thank you for speaking with us on Political Arena.
Thank you so much.
That is all what we have on this program, Political Arena. Stay tuned for S24 documentary and S24 report. Thank you.
Like you mentioned, the person that paid ransom, maybe the POS person doesn't know that that was a ransom money. Is there a parameter in place for CAC to enlighten these small business owners on being careful with the way they deal with people, even in their business?
That's the reason why we said the status of your company matters. Because any person that is doing one or two criminal acts or committing crime with his businesses, will be careful in filing annual returns. Because in filing of annual returns, there are a lot of provisions that if you dare disclose it, certainly you can't commit or you can't run illegal activities. Because in the requirements we require to meet up with the annual returns filing, we expect you to disclose the PSC, what we call person with significant control. And you must disclose the address, you must disclose a lot of sensitive activity around you. So that's the reason why people decided to keep themselves inactive and be operating with house gloves.
Illegally.
That's why we encourage our people that already registered their businesses. Don't feel that they are outsmarting the system for not filing annual returns, or their business have not been registered by the Corporate Affairs Commission. To make yourself safe, rush, file your annual returns, and if you are to do any further transaction with anybody, ensure you do KYC. Know your customers. You either ask someone to do it for you, or you visit our website. Once you do our website, put that name. If someone approaches you now, I have a property to sell in a particular place, give me the documents, the titles of the property. It owned by a particular company. Search. Is that company really active in our portal? If not, don't buy that property.
Oh, so it means that you can use the titles of properties to get information about companies.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
We have integration with the land registry, most especially like Age is here in Abuja.
Yeah.
And we are encouraging other state registries to come and integrate with us. They should not relate with any inactive company for any land transactions. So also banks, they are not supposed to be allowing accounts
To be open.
No, even if they open the account of the legal now, eventually now you see a company remain inactive and still operating that account. It's supposed to be blocked because it's not worthy for considerations. If we found a company is been doing a transaction in a particular bank and remain inactive, it means the bank are aiding the crime.
They're complicit.
In the matter. Our campaigning tool for this year, our main agenda for this particular year is the status of your company matters. We are enlightening the people because every day we receive, like today, I received over 10,000 requests from the security agencies over a company, over company transactions, from various security agencies. And all goes down to see whether they are active or inactive. Maybe they have already found in our system they are inactive, but they want a communication from us, written communication, because they are taking it as a evidence, either in court or somewhere. They are writing to us and we'll respond. So that's the reason why we say to play safe, ensure that anyone comes your way, make sure that your own is active, and anyone comes your way, search first to ensure that he has a good standing for you now to go ahead to do any transaction.
Thank you so much for that enlightenment. Now let's go into something more germane as well, especially when companies remain inactive. What is the next step that the CAC does? With that, we'll go back to the Registrar General. When a company remains inactive for a long time, I know it constitutes to the registration. What parameters do you use to get into that point to say, okay, is it 5 years that they've been inactive or 1 year and then you deregister them?
Yes, as I earlier told you, our operations is 100% guided by the provisions of the law. In fact, the law is clearly stated that any company stayed inactive beyond 10 years where it's qualified to be deregistered in our register. That's one. And there is a particular provision of law which says that any company now stayed beyond 3 years too can be deregistered in our register. And furthermore, any business that if we have a belief in Corporate Affairs Commission that is not doing that business, that we have registered him for, we can deregister him.
Okay, if they divert the main objective or the activities they're supposed to be doing, if they shift without letting you know?
If we have the belief that they are no longer in business, we can straight go ahead and deregister their businesses.
And for the companies that maybe they are actually doing business, but they are inactive and you deregistered them, what is the thing that they need to do to get back?
They can only come back by way of court order.
Court order.
And they must go back to the court, convince the court that the reason why they remain inactive all this while. And if the court is convinced, it will give an order that we should restore them back. And in coming back to the Corporate Affairs Commission, they must comply with the payment of penalty, meet up with the statutory demands of filings of annual returns. After they file the annual returns, coupled with the other documents, then we now bring them back to the register. And we have the history of the registering companies. Like last year, 2025, I registered over 400,000 businesses in Nigeria. 400,000 in 4 batches, 4 tranches. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. And it's ongoing. This year, we have already given instruction for them to look at all the companies in disobedience of the provisions of the law. They should look at a chunk of 500,000 straight away this 2026. And that will not stop. We will go beyond that. The law says that if you are ever now owing the commission a kobo, we can institute the action against the directors of the company.
Okay, so it means even if the company is registered and they are owing the annual returns that they're supposed to file, if they come to do another registration, then they will pay for that?
If you have ever registered a company in a particular name, you now feel that company is no longer important or relevant to your business. You decided later on to have a group with another person to register another company for another business, the other one you abandon it. No, the CAC will go after the other companies that you abandon. We unbundle it, look at the directors, anywhere they are, in any business they are, we can follow them to track them and collect our money back.
Okay.
And if they cannot, we can go to the extent of freezing their money at the bank. That's you have outstanding in previous companies that you have now. You are not safe. A committee is just being constituted. They are doing their work diligently. very soon you see a demand notice. And when you see that demand notice, that's the first step of procedure of recovering our money.
Welcome back from that documentary and also the break. Now to technology, innovation and digital world with me, Aisha Muhammad. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. Nigeria's digital infrastructure is under scrutiny following a major cybersecurity incident as the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has confirmed unauthorized access to its systems, with reports indicating that up to 750 gigabytes of sensitive company data may have been compromised. Experts say the breach could have far-reaching consequences, not just for businesses, but for Nigerians' fight against financial crimes. With corporate records potentially exposed on the dark web, concerns are growing about identity theft, fraud, and loopholes in anti-money laundering enforcement. Still on digital security, the Lagos state government is taking proactive steps to strengthen cyber resilience. The state has unveiled new cybersecurity guidelines developed in collaboration with its advisory council. The framework aims to protect critical systems, support businesses, and improve public trust. As Lagos continues to position itself as a leading tech hub in Africa, analysts say this move is timely, especially as cyber threats grow alongside increased internet penetration and digital transactions. Now to digital access. A new partnership between Credit Direct and Vivo has helped close Nigeria's digital divide. The financing deal is expected to make smartphones more affordable through flexible payment options, potentially enabling millions of Nigerians to get online for the first time. For many, this is more than convenience. It's access to education, financial services, and economic opportunities in an increasingly digital world. Across Africa, technology is becoming central to economic strategy. The African Union mission in China is hosting a retreat for African ambassadors, focusing on digital trade, capacity building, and technology transfer. The discussions are tied to Agenda 2063, Africa's long-term development blueprint, with an emphasis on leveraging global partnership to accelerate digital growth. Meanwhile, Morocco is investing in the future of digital creativity. The government has launched an AI-driven gaming startup challenge aimed at developing local talent and integrating African innovation into the global gaming industry. And onto the global stage. Google is reportedly working with Marvel Technology to develop new AI-specific chips. This collaboration is expected to improve how artificial intelligence models process data, while strengthening competition against dominant chip makers in the AI space. And in the Middle East, Ooredoo has launched the first LTE-M network in Qatar. The technology is designed to support large-scale Internet of Things development, from smart cities to industrial automation, marking a major step forward in connected infrastructure. From cybersecurity threats to digital expansion, the tech landscape is evolving rapidly, shaping how economies grow and how people connect. That's it on ICT and Tech Update. Up next is the entertainment news, coming to you after this short break. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back from that break. I'm Khadija Muhammad, and I'm going to take you right into the entertainment update for today. A lover of Afrobeat and Amapiano, the UK-based DJ plays Cross River first, praising its lush greenery, waterfalls, and peaceful community spirit. Kano followed closely for its historic mosques, rich culture, and warm hospitality. Surprisingly, Lagos landed at number 10, with Jean Soul saying while the city delivers unmatched beach parties and nightlife, it's licked the calm natural beauty she found elsewhere. On her viral TikTok montage showcased hidden gems from serene rivers and historic forts to game parks and breathtaking landscape, reminding Nigerians that the country's beauty stretches far beyond the big cities. The ranking sparked pride online, but also renewed concerns over how insecurity continues to overshadow Nigerians' tourism potential. While Nigerians celebrated their state online, another conversation was heated up this time about family responsibility, wealth, and where to draw the line. Social media is buzzing over one major question, but success means carrying the entire family. The debate gained traction after a viral post praised businessman E-Money for helping fund his brother Casey's music career, an example many describe as true family upliftment. But on the other hand, TikTok personality Gege found himself under fire after his sister accused him of neglecting family struggles despite his fame. His response was blunt: "I can't lift everyone from poverty." That statement split opinion online. Some Nigerians applauded E-Money's support system, calling family elevation a duty, especially during tough economic times like now. Other backs Gege saying boundaries are necessary to avoid turning help into lifelong dependency. And from family success stories to musical milestone, one rising Afrobeat star is proving that dreams can indeed become reality. The Nigerian Afrobeat rising star Fola has reached a major career milestone, selling out his debut music online. Concert at Indigo at the 02 in London. The show held on April 19 marked his first headline performance in the UK, drawing a packed crowd to the iconic venue as fans arrived early for his night of energy, pyrotechnics, and surprise guest appearances. Special performances from artists like Shodi and BNXN added to the excitement, while Fola thrilled fans with songs from his debut album, Catharsis. Official listing confirmed Fola a live-in concert was scheduled for April 19 at the Indigo at the O2, with doors opening at 6 p.m., highlighting the fast-rising singer as one of Afrobeat's most compelling news voices. Though some question the hype compared to bigger stars like Wizkid, the sold-out venue and viral performance is only just the beginning. And while music was making headlines in London, thousands of miles away in Myanmar, an ancient cultural tradition continues to fascinate the world. Deep in Myanmar and part of Thailand lives one of the world's most visually striking communities, the Kayan people, especially the Kayan Lawi women, often called the long-neck women. From as young as 5 years old, girls begin wearing brass curls around their necks, gradually adding more over time as they grow. Contrary to popular belief, the rings do not actually stretch the neck. Instead, they push down the collarbone and upper ribs, creating the dramatic illusion of an elongated neck, sometimes appearing as long as 15 inches. Beauty, it is their identity, heritage, and cultural pride passed down through generations. The tradition has fascinated tourists and researchers worldwide, becoming one of the Southeast Asia's most recognizable cultural symbols. What may look unusual to outsiders remains for the Kayan women a powerful expression for history and belonging. And that brings us to today's entertainment update for today. Up next is Sport News with Martha after the break.
Welcome back from that break. Here's your latest sports updates for today from across Nigeria, Africa, and the world. Nigerian forward Kelechi Iheanacho is once again making headlines after being named Baller of the Week for the second time in just 3 weeks. The Super Eagles striker delivered a standout performance, scoring twice after coming off the bench to help his side secure an important win. His ability to influence games in key moments continues to impress fans and analysts as he maintains a strong run of form. Meanwhile, a football match in Paraguay was brought to a sudden end after violent clashes left several people injured. The trouble broke out among rival supporters inside the stadium, causing panic and forcing security officials to step in. Police used crowd control measures to restore order, while emergency responders treated the injured and made several arrests. Authorities have since launched an investigation with growing concerns about fan safety and stadium security. In wrestling, Nigerian star Obafemi made a powerful statement on his debut at WrestleMania. Femi defeated veteran Brock Lesnar in a dominant performance that shocked many fans. He controlled the match with strength and confidence, finishing it decisively to secure a memorable victory. The win marks a major breakthrough in his career and signals his arrival on one of wrestling's biggest stages. And finally, in grassroots football, Fortune Football Academy have been crowned champions of the Ajegunle Under-14 League in Lagos. They secured the title after a closely contested final that ended in a draw, before going on to win 3-2 on penalties. The young players showed resilience and teamwork throughout the competition, with standout performances in both the semi-finals and final. The tournament continues to play an important role in developing young football talents and promoting sports at the community level. That will be all on Sport Update. Over to our PG News after the break.
My people will now welcome on top our Pigeon Tori segment where they for S24 Rundown. My name na Hadiza Galadima, and here we go bring una the better gbedu on top everything where they share for Niger and across Obodo Ibu. Draw chair come, make we enter the main Tori for today. And we will start with children for inside Child's Rights Advocacy Club, where they inside Mashi local government area of Katsina State. They don't tell authorities, say, make them sharp do something about climate change. The Pekin then visit local leaders, go complain, say, flood, dirty environment, and how people they take cut trees down, don't they make school unsafe for them. And they don't beg for clean water, better toilet, and make government plant more trees so that they go fit learn in peace. And this one, they come from JAM as they don't blow whistle, say they don't release more than 1.8 million results for the 2023 UTME examination. The board talk person will be Fabian Benjamin talk, say the results where them release now join follow the ones where they write from April 16th to 18th. And if they want to check their results, now to just type or send a UTME result in capital letter without space to 55019 or 66019 with the phone number where they take register for JAM. And on to collabo matter. Niger and Turkey don't finally shake hands to build one big military training center for inside Niger. Our Minister of Defense, will be Christopher Musa, follow Turkish officials gbadu the talk for Antalya Diplomacy Forum. And they go train our soldiers on how to fight terrorists, handle drones, and carry out special forces operations. They go start work for one temporary yard before they go move to permanent site for Riverside. And another education matter, this one they come from SANU, will be senior staff for universities, and they don't hear and give federal government say the 30% pay increase where them they propose no go reach. SANU talk say the news where they fly around, no be waiting it be, and the constituent say they no go agree sake of say the talk now wash because pending talk still day for ground. And they don't give government reach end of April 2026 to finish the matter pata, otherwise they go do waiting they sabi to do. Lockdown universities, and now their normal waka be that will be strike. And this one, they come on top politics, and from the former governor of Kaduna State, will be Nasir El-Rufai, and he don't talk, say some people, they try stop in release from detention, even though courts don't grant and bail for the case where ICPC don't carry and go. El-Rufai says some people where they feel say they get out, they try to keep them for detention. And in people can still talk, say the whole Casalana to just stay in name and to keep them for sale for no just reason. And last onto Obodo Ibu matter, U.S. has carried on one Iranian woman will be Shamin Mafi for Los Angeles airport. They say the 44-year-old woman, they try sell drones, bombs, and plenty bullets to Sudan, even though war still they go on for that area. Prosecutors talk say the deal reach millions of dollars, and she they try dodge the law, we go ban that kind of business. My people, that now how we will take wrap up for today to read on top our pidgin segment on S24 Rundown. I will be personal person, Hadiza Galadima, and I go hand now over to the host with the most, will be Zainab Ibrahim. Make una stay safe, and remember, say information na power. My people, una bye.
we've come to the end of S24 Rundown. Please do join us tomorrow same time as you follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. My name is Zainab Ibrahim. Do have a lovely day.